So that is we are discussing that sometimes it is necessary to complete the project earlier than the normal time. So whatever that 15 month is there we have calculated and 25 lakhs. That two things are called as normal time and normal duration. Okay, so if that normal time and normal duration, if it can be possible to reduce, that we have to think. Okay, so this is the important part here, and we are concentrating how that normal time is reduced, project time, where we can reduce the days, and for that day, how much is increased the cost that we have to calculate. Okay, CPM makes use of cost estimate along with time estimate and provides schedule for completing the activities at the minimum total cost. So whatever network we are drawing, that network tells us for this activity what is the minimum total cost. So that is there. But we are not concentrating, we are just concentrating on time side initially, early start and late start, etc. So that particular part also we have to consider here. Okay. So once these things are calculated, means once this network is established, then we have to think about cost reduction, cost minimization. Okay, then we go to the further. This procedure improves planning, scheduling, and controlling of the project, and also assess the possibility to arrive at feasible and desirable time cost relationship. So why this process is carried out? This process is carried out to improve the planning, scheduling, and controlling of the project. So we have discussed a lot about this, about planning, about scheduling. Planning is half done. If your good plan is there, 50% work can be over. Then scheduling, according to whatever the time schedule is there, whether your project is running or not, then where lacunas are there, where lagging is there, their controlling part come into the picture, take the control and forward that activity according to the time and schedule, etc. And these all things are uh, gives us, means gives something in our hand, that feasible and desirable time cost relationship. Feasible and desirable time cost relationship means without wasting much more time, within a scheduled time, the project can be completed. In desirable cost, it is appropriate cost, not more expenditure will be there. Is it right? So appropriate cost should be used for that particular project. The project duration can be reduced by reducing the duration of only critical activities in the project network. So critical network or critical path, as we are knowing that that is the longest path of the network. So we are reducing the duration of that critical path only. Not critical path, but other paths also. If three critical paths may be available, then we are reducing the duration of that critical path, because critical path gives us the longest path, longest duration path. And if we follow that critical path, your project will be run for that particular month or that particular day. So we are reducing the time or duration of critical path. Then with this, the reduction in time duration can be done by. So how the reduction in time duration can be done by? So already I told you that they deploying more resources from early completions. So earlier I told you that if you want to complete that house building project within a less time, little bit early, then deploy more men, deploy more labor there, increase the number of labors. So that is one thing. Or deploy the resources. So what are the initial resources, previous resources are there. If they are remain ideal, use that resources so that further activities can be completed within a less time or less than the scheduled time. And second point is relaxing the technical specifications. So what is mean by this? Relaxing the technical specification. Suppose you are knowing that steel structure is there of building, you have completed foundation work, and further for slabbing or some column and beam, suppose 18 steel is required, but right now in market 16 is available and 18 may be available after 1 month because of certain traveling problem or certain thing. 18 steel is not available in the market. You have gone through market research, you have gone through different shops, you have gone through different vendors. Everybody is saying that 16 is available and 18 will be available after 1 month. So at that time, the decision is in your custody. Okay, so there is one phrase in English that the ball is in your court, decision in your custody. So what you have to take the decision, whether you can use available 16 steel or you should wait for the 1 month. So that waiting period of 1 month increase your cost duration. Sorry, project duration. Increase your project duration, and at the same time, in that 1 month, some expenditure will be there. So definitely, ultimately, cost will be increased. So you have to take decision at that time whether according to the technical specification whether 16 can be possible, whether it can be sustainable with consideration of factor of safety and other things, whether we can make the relaxation there. So that is called relaxing the technical specification. So this is related to civil work. If any mechanical work is there, again certain technical things may be there, some electronics part may be there, certain things may be there, where some technical specification can it be waived, not 100%, but it can be adjusted so that whatever the available things are there, that can be utilized for the further project. Or shall we stick firmly to that particular point, whatever we have considered? So that part we have to think and we have to take a proper decisions. Okay, so this particular time duration is reduced by these two methods. First, increase the indirect resources or deploy more resources, or go for giving some relaxations in the technical side. So I found just 1 minute. I found that 40 students are nearby joined us, and in chat box I am not getting everybody's roll number. So those who have not written, those who have not written roll number in chat box, they can only write. Don't repeat it. Don't repeat it. I am saying don't repeat it. Those who have not written earlier, they can write the chat box, roll number in chat box. Don't repeat it. I am telling once again, don't repeat it. Many students repeated roll numbers. So don't repeat it. Those who are not written, they can write. If you are written in chat box, roll number, no problem. Those who are not written, they can write. Okay. So this is the two ways to time reduction in time duration. Then we go forward. That there is some definitions are there. So what are that definitions? So definitions are optimum duration. Okay, so this is the that we have to find out optimum duration. What is meant by optimum duration? Duration which gives the most economic cost for completing of the project. So the duration which gives the most economic cost. So this is the one of the important thing. Economic cost means most of the time lowest cost. The duration which gives the lowest cost to complete that project, that is called optimum duration. Then time cost estimate. If we go for the time cost estimate, already I told you there are two things come into picture: normal time, normal cost, crashed time, crashed estimate or crashed cost, and crashed time. So first normal estimate, that is normal cost. Emphasis is on the cost with time being associated with minimum cost. So what are the cost associated with normal time is called normal estimate. Crash estimate emphasis is on time. It involves the absolute minimum time required for the job and the cost necessary to achieve it. Okay, so crash time, minimum time of the project, crash cost, increased cost, normal cost, regular cost, or the cost required for completion of the project in normal time according to the network diagram, whatever the time we are receiving. Once this is there, then this is the actual, we can call it as a graphical representation of the variation of project cost. Okay, so variation of project cost, initially what is meant by project cost? What is the project cost? First, we must know about project cost, then we can know the variation of project cost. So project cost, that is nothing but each activity of project consumes some resources and it has associated with it cost, with some cost. So project activity, each activity consumes some resources. So if you go for foundation work, that foundation work activity consists of consume some resources, and for that resources some cost is required. Okay, in most of the cases, cost of an activity will vary with some extent with the amount of time consumed. So sometimes the activity is varying and the cost is varying with the time. The cost of total project, which is aggregate of the activity cost and also depend upon the project duration. So this is the important point. Total project cost, which is the aggregate of all the activity cost. If you take the example of that house building, total project cost is 25 lakh, but out of 25 lakh, 10 lakh rupees is required for foundation work. Is it right? So that 10 lakh is also considered in total cost. That is the meaning. Total cost of project, which is the aggregate of cost of activity and also depend upon project duration. So project duration, that is with the help of time scale. Okay. Rather, we can say that the project cost can be increased with duration. Is it right? Project is suppose going on for a long time, definitely cost may be increasing. Most of the time you are knowing that our Padbandhare Khate, every time that dam is there, previously it is of 200 crore. After 2 years, the dam cost is increased by 230 crores or 300 crores. After 5 years, again it is increased by 450 crore. So initial cost was 200, but nowadays it becomes 450 crore. Why this cost is increasing? So state government had changed the cost of project is yet changed. Earlier it was 200 crore, right now it is 400 crore. Who had changed this cost? This cost is changing with the time. So that is the important part. Then if project cost we are knowing, whatever this project cost we have gone through, then how these things are there. So whatever here in this diagram, there are two lines. One is continuous line. If you able to see this cursor, I'll use this laser pointer. So this particular part is the continuous line. This is the project cost, and whatever the dotted lines are there, the meaning of dotted line is different and it is shown to there only. So means if project is completed early, so at this scale, this X scale, time is there. So if project is completed within less time, here my laser pointer is here at the less time side. Then whatever the increased cost is there, that dotted points are increased, that is called cost raise if project is crashed. Means that is the increased cost of the project because of less time. And at this side, at whatever these dotted lines are increased, whatever I am reporting you with the cursor, whatever these dotted lines are there, these dotted lines increase the cost or cost raise if project is prolonged. Means this is the of time, that is the situation. So at where that continuous line ends, that indicates this is the normal time, and this is the further cost increased if your project extended beyond normal time. If your project extended beyond normal time, so automatically cost will get increased. So what we have to do, we have, and this side cost is there. So cost axis is y-axis where cost is written. So as project is completed early, cost is increased. As project is prolonged, if project is completed after normal time, after normal situation, after normal duration, then also cost is increased. Then we have to find out this particular point. We have to find out this particular point, that where from that point if I make the horizontal line, it gives me minimum cost, and from that point if I go for vertically downside, it gives me optimum duration. So this particular analysis we have to make to find out the optimum duration and minimum cost. Okay, so that is our point, that is our aim by studying this optimum time cost of optimization. Okay, this is the graph. Then if we go to the project cost, so already we are talking about time, already we are considering the time, we are calculating the time through the particular network diagram, etc. We will just go little bit deep to the cost side. Once you understood these cost definitions, then it is very helpful. So what is this? The total cost of the project, it can be divided into two parts. That is already I told you, direct cost and indirect cost. Direct cost, that is the cost of required thing. So house building project you have considered cost of steel, cost of cement, cost of sand, that is the required cost. So that is called the direct cost. Then further part is there, that is indirect cost. What is indirect cost? Indirect cost may be overheads or outgauge loss. What do you mean by outgauge loss and overheads? So already we discussed about overheads. So suppose 10 workers are there. Instead of 10 workers, if you put 50 to 15 workers, that 5 worker is overhead worker, and you have to pay for that 5 workers. Okay, so that work can be completed by 10 workers, but to reduce the time of that particular project, if you increase the manpower, if you increase the number of workers, then per worker some cost is increased, that is called overheads. And outgauge loss is nothing but penalty paid by you because of delay. So that is the indirect cost. Sometimes there are certain conditions are there. If you don't complete this particular project within this much time, the penalty will be there. And most of the time in government cases, you can find out such things. So road work, road contract is given for this contractor, and duration was 2 years, but in 2 years this particular road is not yet completed. So penalty is put on the contractor, is blacklisted, etc. like this. So that penalty side is also, we can call it as the indirect cost. So if you go, first we will go to the definition side. Okay, So what is the direct cost side? The direct cost is depend upon directly on the amount of resources involved in the execution of individual activities. So these are the amount of resources and directly it can be involved in the execution. It is the cost of material, it is the cost of equipment, it is the cost of minimum labor required to perform the activities. Okay, so this can be called as direct cost. So minimum cost of labor means 10 labors are required. That 10 labor cost is direct cost, no problem. Is it right? But if you go for 15 labors, then that 55 labors will be indirect cost. Okay. Then about indirect cost overheads, already we talk about if number of labors, resources are increased, manpower is increased, that is comes overhead. Outgauge loss, that is the penalty. Then how the things are there? Okay, how the things are there. So if you consider this is the indirect cost against this time schedule or time scale, you can find out that the time as it is running, indirect cost slowly it goes on increasing. Why it goes on increasing? Because indirectly we are increasing the labors, we are increasing the overheads, we are increasing the manpower. So slowly it can be increased. But outgauge loss, whatever the outgauge loss is there, penalty is there, or something is there. So that may be constantly goes on increasing if it is not properly care taken about it. And it gives the total indirect cost curve. So total indirect cost curve is like this. Initially it is little bit high, as work started low, and afterwards it is remain constant. It goes on increasing. So indirect cost reduce never reduced. It goes on always increasing side. So this is the some definitions about indirect project. These are those expenditures which cannot clearly allocated to the individual activities of project but are assessed as a whole. So indirect cost cannot be assessed with activities. You cannot say that a foundation worker only 10 people are required, 10 labor are required. For slab purpose, 15 labors are required. For sidewall construction, only 2 people are required. So that can be there. This can be called as allocation of resources. But for a whole building, that construction of house as a whole project, that individual activity doesn't consider that indirect cost for foundation work is more or indirect cost for slab work is less. It doesn't count separately for that activity. Indirect cost is counted for whole project. It includes expenditure related to administrative and establishment charges. So suppose you are going for permission house. So another example of the indirect cost. So your whatever things are ready, whatever your documents are ready. If you go to the town planning officer by showing your documents, showing your plan, he will charge you some fee. So that fee, that is the administrative part of or some expenditure part. So that particular things are comes under this indirect cost. Supervision cost. So as an engineer, you are knowing sometimes engineers are taking just the supervision work. They are not having whole responsibility of the whole that's building or etc. They are just called as advisors. Okay, one engineer is advisor, another engineer is a contractor like this. Whatever the contractor engineer is there, he will take the cost. But what is the supervision cost is there, super advisor engineer is there. He will also charge some fee to give you advice, to give you give the supervision on your work and other things. Okay, so that particular cost is indirect cost. Expenditure on central store organization. loss of revenue, loss of profit, penalty. So these things are there: loss of revenue, mm, loss of profit. Okay, so earning from the house, no earning is there, so profit is not there. Sometimes we have to pay penalty. Most of the time in city side, whatever the carpet area is there or whatever the FSI is there. Okay, so according to FSI, we have to build our house. If FSI is little bit, we have changed that rule of FSI at our own side. We have to pay the penalty to government. Is it right? So that particular things are come into the indirect cost, and due to that, the overall project cost goes on increasing. Obviously, whatever the things required direct cost, it is there, but whatever these things are there which are associated with project, but it will create the impact on the final cost. These are indirect costs. So indirect costs rises with increased duration. So if you start the project and 1 month if you stop the project, you have to pay 1 month salary to that labor. You can't say that no work is there in this month, so I will not give salary, etc. Is it right? So that is called indirect cost. And outgauge loss. So already we discussed about this: loss in a profit due to inability to meet the demand or penalty due to delay. So penalty due to delay is correct in case of company, etc., the organization or big construction companies, etc. Sometimes you might be reading the news in the paper. Sometimes that builder has not given the what we can call it as the whole or key of the flat to the customer after 18 months or 24 months. The customer went to the consumer court and he applied the cases, and is that right? So some penalties launched against that contractor, etc. Is that right? So these things are there in the society, in the market. This these particular costs are called as outgauge cost. So what are the things we are giving as a penalty? Okay. So this is the particular related to indirect cost. So in short, if you look at to indirect cost, project indirect cost can be divided into two groups. That is already we have discussed overhead and outgauge cost. The overhead cost is due to general and administrative expenses, license fee, insurance, tax. Is it right? So construction cost we have to pay to the municipal for tax and काय म्हणतात मराठी मध्ये त्याला म्हणजे बांधकाम परवाना, वापर परवाना, त्यासाठी पण म्युन्सिपालिटीला आपण पैसे भरतो, टॅक्स भरतो जर त्या वर्षी. So all these things comes under overhead cost. And second, what are the variable cost or overgauge loss is there due to time consumed by project because of some the capital delay, some work delay, some penalties. All the things are come into this particular point. So we have to take the balance between this direct cost and indirect cost. Then those direct costs, so already we have gone through this, those expenditures which are directly chargeable and can be identified especially with the activities of the project. These includes labor cost, material cost, equipment cost, already we have discussed this. Then this is the direct cost. So as project is there, similarly straight line indicate the normal project, that duration and time, and this side cost is there. So that is the crash duration and this is the normal duration. The normal duration up to this project should be completed as per the network point, network problem, and if you want to complete it early, then your cost is increased. That is called crash duration and crash cost. So there are two points are there related to this. That is Tn, that is normal distribution, normal duration. Tc, crash duration. So T indicate time, C indicate crash, N indicate normal. Similarly for cost, normal cost Cn and crash cost Cc. So these four terms are very important, and we have to take care about this for further. Whenever we are solving the problem, we have to take care about this. So whatever these 4 points are there, Tn, Tc, Cn, Cc. These 4 points we have to consider. Then we go to the further. These are the four important definitions to relate our things to go further. That is the crashing of the project. So four important definitions are normal time, that is Tn, standard time that an estimate would usually allow for an activity. That is the standard time or standard estimate would usually allow for an activity. So our regular time, regular things are coming, that is called normal time. Then crashed time, minimum possible time in which an activity can be completed by employing extra resources. So in this definition, two words are important. One is minimum possible time. So minimum possible time means if 15 months is required, normally 15 months is required for completion of house building project, it can be reduced. It can be possibly reduced up to 10 months or 12 months. But below that, it cannot be reduced. Is it right? Somebody cannot say that I will, instead of 25 lakh, I will give you 50 lakh, but within 6 months you can give me the completed house. That is not possible. Minimum time is suppose 10 months, so 10 months is required according to that particular project, definitely. Is it right? So that is the called the crash time, minimum possible time. Okay, and one more important word is there, by employing extra resources. What is that extra resources? The extra manpower, extra thing, extra material, extra machineries, extra equipments. So it is one of the important part. By employing extra things, extra resources, that time is reduced. So extra resources obviously go for extra charges. So that we have to not forget. Then normal cost, direct cost required to complete the activity in normal time. Whatever the normal time is there, using that normal time, whatever the cost is required, direct cost, that is called normal cost. And crash cost, direct cost corresponding to completion of activity within crash time. If you want to complete the particular project in a less time, then for that less time, whatever the extra resources you are using, whatever the charges of that extra resources are there, these are called crash cost. These are extra cost. Okay, I hope you understood these 4 points very well. Normal time, crash time, normal cost, and crash cost. Is it right?